This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
It's another week of the Sports Source Digital Network, and we welcome you inside action. You want Monday plays, you want the raw numbers, you want the inside. Two men can give it to you. Chuck Cavalaris and Tyler Ivens. When we hit the fist bumps, we go right to the numbers. Still coming up, our official Kentucky-Tennessee pick. It's that 75 north travel up to what's going to be a frigid Lexington, Kentucky. It doesn't matter if they play this game in April. It'd be like 30 degrees. Yeah. It's always cold up in Lexington. Well, we get things started as we always do before our SEC selections with the prop bet and Chuck Cavalaris. Thank you for wearing your Kentucky blue today. We're going to dive in with the prop bet that is one that I think you need to keep an eye on, especially if it's star-studded performances. Chuck, the average is a mark of 20 yards per catch on average. Now, you always have those tight ends that can pull in one, maybe a pair, and then it absolutely skyrockets the average. But in the last handful of games, 3 to be exact, Tennessee has had a player with a minimum of 3 catches with an average of over 20 yards. Those candidates, quickly, I'll spit them out for you. Velus Jones Jr., Marquez Callaway, and believe it or not, Dante Thornton. And that was the season where he was kind of very hit or miss. So let me ask you, Chuck Cavalaris, a prop. If Tennessee was to find one player, a minimum of 3 receptions, but the average eclipsed 20 per, especially what's going to be a night game at Kroger Field, where are you at on this prop to kick things off?
I go right back to the game, what was it, 2 years ago, seems like, when they had the switch release, and they hit them right off the bat, 2 plays, long touchdown passes. I tell you what, I can obviously get the 3 catches. Yeah, you can get there on that. The 20 yards a catch.
Those explosive plays.
Yeah, we haven't seen that as much, have we? So, I mean, I would say I wouldn't bank on this one happening.
You know what? Because we've just seen that Josh Heupel and Joey Aguilar like spreading the ball. Matthews here, a sprinkle of Brazel, Staley if you're lining up correctly, Kitzelman, find me somewhere in the flat. Yeah, I think that this is going to be I call it a Thanksgiving Day. Everybody gets a little piece of everything. I know it's usually Tennessee relies on one player to be able to get them to the finish line. But for those of you who think that this is going to be a out-of-market player prop game, you know what I'm referring to, those of you not viewing it in the state of Tennessee, I think you might want to stay away from player props or individual halves in this game. This is going to be a look at the number or stay away from the number. And we'll have those official picks coming up for Tennessee and Kentucky. Those of you waiting, we will be selecting this at 9.5. Chuck Cavalaris,
yes, sir.
Usually we go back and forth. You'll lead off, I'll lead off. If you won't mind, I'd like the opportunity. Texas going to overtime last week in Lexington. It burned me something solid on Saturday night. I'd like to be able to push forward with a couple of plays. I like to call them get me right plays. No better place for you to get right than a night game in Baton Rouge. Is LSU legit? Ask yourself that question, because every week I watch Brian Kelly and Garrett Nussmeier run through their tunnels, and I go, yeah, of course they're legit. Now LSU, you get an opportunity to be able to dethrone the last undefeated in the SEC. I'm going to give you one more chance to prove me right on this. Points, night game, Tiger Stadium, sure. Give me LSU with the home team and the underdog pulling the upset. Game number 2, let me ask you a question. Are we now believing in this Arkansas team? Covering at Neyland Stadium, should have knocked off Texas A&M just this past weekend. Arkansas is going to be able to keep this game close. I don't care who the opponent is. Bobby Petrino is going to show, as long as he has an athletic quarterback, Taylon Green, they're able to pull off any type of game, any type of spread. You're giving me a skinny number, Arkansas, and a matchup against Auburn. Yeah, I like Arkansas to be able to keep this game close. And then finally, last but not least, South Carolina. This scares me. You're home. It's clear that your coach is about to leave to take back his dad's old job just up the road in Blacksburg. But 2 touchdowns in the SEC, I don't care how good Alabama is, and I'll chew my fingernails the entire game watching it, but I'll get the Gamecocks to attempt to keep things close with Ty Simpson, Kalen DeBoer with the Tide rolling in. Chuck Cavalaris, what say you?
I tell you what, I'm going to start off the same way we did last week. I think Vanderbilt's on an absolute heater. I think they're playing so well
it's
at
incredible.
home. I think this line should be higher than 2.5. Don't look now, but in the AP top 20, Vanderbilt's number 10. They got a chance to play back-to-back home sellouts.
Diego Pavia.
This line's too low. Definitely. I love Vanderbilt in that game. Here's one I'm kind of going out on a limb a little bit. Ole Miss making its first trip to Oklahoma, but Ole Miss is catching 4. How do they bounce back from that terrible finish at Georgia? John Mateer, he can even quick kick for Oklahoma. He showed that. I think Ole Miss can at least hang in there and stay within the 4 if they don't win the game.
If I could just slide in real quick, I'm in complete agreement with that. I like Ole Miss in the points in that game as well.
Thank you. That makes me feel better. It really does.
Yeah, good.
This one, I tell you what, you can see going either way. And I tell you why. Mississippi State is like now 5-2 against the spread.
Yeah.
They're playing at home. But Texas has so much more talent. Their defense, I mean, when is their offense going to show up?
Arch Manning, only
Yes.
2 first downs in that second half that forced overtime in that game
So
against Kentucky.
I'm just feeling it's going to happen this week. I'll go ahead and give the spot. And like you, I'm probably going to be chewing my fingernails.
Advent Electric has been providing high-quality electrical contractor solutions for 46 years. From 24/7 emergency electrical services to providing skilled residential and commercial electrical contractors and everything in between. Our expert certified electricians are equipped to help you no matter the size or complexity. Advent Electric, 865-588-0631.
Again, thank you so much to the friends over at Advent Electric who bring you this week and every week's edition of Action right here on the Sports Source Digital Network. Like it so we know to send you more videos and you can notify all of your friends and followers. Ring the bell so we can drop latest content. And of course, comment below, where are we off base on some of our double-digit spreads or some of those road dogs. Speaking of which, Tennessee, flip the script. They are 9.5-point favorites heading up 75 North, Kroger Field, Lexington, Kentucky. Keys to the game, Chuck Cavalaris.
Well, I tell you what, Tyler, when I look at this game, I think you got to lean to me towards Tennessee. And I think there's 3 keys that I'm really looking at. Tennessee needs to play a clean game.
God, yes.
I mean, right off the bat at Alabama, you've got a penalty, kills a drive. You've got penalties that kill good plays, pre-snap penalties, personal foul penalties. You got to clean that up on the road in the SEC. The next thing is quarterback pressure. A lot of Tennessee fans may not have heard about Cutter Boley. Redshirt freshman, 6'5", like 210. He's added weight. 4-star from right there in Lexington. I mean, he could sling it. So you have got to get some pressure. He is like got a quick release, but you still have to find a way. Tennessee against Alabama, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions.
Spot on.
That number has to be higher for Tennessee's defense to make up for a lot of the plays given up. And that takes me to my last key. 3rd down stops.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of seeing Tennessee defense giving up 3rd and long and can't get off the field. That's got to improve. So Tennessee wants to go 75 North, win this game, cold weather at 7:45 kickoff. Do these 3 things and you'll come home with a win.
You like Tennessee to cover?
Yes, I do. And I tell you what, I don't think the Kentucky quarterback has quite enough supporting cast. I also think there's a ton of heat on Kentucky coach Mark Stoops. So I think that could really turn around. And how are they going to respond after that overtime loss to Texas?
Dating back to 2017, these are the last 4 trips to Lexington. Each one of those games, 17, 19, 21, and 23, were all decided by 6 points or less. If you're going off the trend, maybe you think about leaning Kentucky. Me, on the other hand, I appreciate you going after the spread. I like the total in this game. Little extra salt, over 54.5. You want to talk about Tennessee needing to reestablish a lot of that firepower on offense. Kentucky needing the opportunity to be able to show that perhaps maybe their head's still above water. I like the total in this matchup, and I like to see Tennessee and Kentucky put on a little bit of a late-night fireworks show there at Kroger Field. Question, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
And I only would bring this up if other people were not also thinking it like I am. You just highlighted it. Cold night game, Kentucky. You wear them out every time you play them. Mark Stoops is just not going to hang with Josh Heupel. You're coming off a loss where kind of the path is clear for the playoff. You got to win out. If you're Tennessee, how do you get up for this game? I get it's SEC on SEC matchup. Not even Tennessee fans are interested in driving up to Kroger Field against a team that you, again, have owned since Josh Heupel has gotten to Knoxville.
Well, I tell you what, I think if you talk to former players, it is an issue that you have to address. And I think with Heupel, what he does is he goes back to working on us. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Yeah.
We're getting better. We're going to go on the road. But here's one thing that I think is another one of the keys to the game. I hate to keep going about Alabama. But in that game was the first time all season Tennessee did not score a touchdown on the first possession. You go to Kentucky and you want to assert control against a team that's struggling, the last place team in the SEC.
Yeah.
The one thing you don't want to do is give them life, right? So you got to go back up. A touchdown first possession doesn't win the game, but it gets people back in the game. It gets everybody fired up. I don't want to see the players over there on the bench talking about how cold it is.
4 sacks were given up all year by the Tennessee offensive line. In the loss in Tuscaloosa Saturday, 4 sacks.
Yeah.
So what you'd given up all year through 5 games, 6 games, you then gave up that total in 1 game. You got concerns with the offensive line? Because if there is a strength to Kentucky, it is their defensive line. That's Mark Stoops football.
Yes. I think you have to, right? If they're looking at that tape.
Okay.
Because the left side gave up 2, right?
Yeah.
The right tackle gave up 1. Not only that, you give up to safety because you step on the quarterback's foot when he's dropping back. And actually it's turned into a 9-point possession, a 9-point swing there.
The Avalanche took over.
You're right. So, I mean, yes, the sacks are an issue because we've had some questions about that Tennessee line. They'd played well, but with the 4 new starters, is Sanders going to be out there much? He wasn't out there at some key times. So I'm looking at that. Yeah, I mean, that's why I had quarterback pressure is one of my keys, and I think you can say it goes both ways, right?
Tennessee, Kentucky, 7:45. The latest on the numbers, what you need to know before you head to your favorite book. Each and every Monday, right here on the Sports Source Digital Network, Tyler Ivens and Chuck Cavalaris, we bring you action.